Imagine you're a soldier fighting in Vietnam and you cannot see through the trees on the riverbank because the enemy could be hiding in there with traps set up, waiting for your platoon. You are tasked with spraying some liquid at the riverbank to clear it out. Gallons are being sprayed as soldiers carry barrels full of this substance, and it's a hot day, so you aren't wearing a shirt or anything, and then you get the job done. After the war is over years later, you go home and start a family with your wife, but your sons are born and they'll never be able to walk as their limbs gradually curl up. They will not make it past their 20s. This is a true story about Mai Gyang Vu, who served in the army of South Vietnam from 1968 to 1974. His job was to carry the barrels of dangerous chemical called Agent Orange to spray in the jungle. He never could have imagined this effect would have on him and his sons. What is Agent Orange, and why did we not research it enough before spraying it on our own soldiers? But let's first take a dive back to when it was first created. It started with the discovery of 2,4,5-T. The first synthesis was published by Robert Pokorny in 1941, and 4 years later, the American Chemical Paint Company patented it as a weed killer. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, health problems were found in industrial accidents such as Monsanto in 1949 and Boehringer in 1952. Now, the British used some of it in World War II, but under the Production Act of 1950, the U.S. government allowed Agent Orange and other chemicals to be used in Vietnam, because Agent Orange was used to clear out the jungles to expose the enemy position. In the late 1970s, after the war ended, many soldiers wanted compensation for the damage caused by Agent Orange, but the responsibility for the damages of Agent Orange was very tricky because there was a lot of people to blame. Since then, not that very much compensation, you know what I'm saying. Listen, okay, we all make mistakes, just like the US government in 1960s and through 1973. But, alright, Agent Orange has still been found in Vietnam soil to this day. Some say we were never even supposed to be there. But, other people also say we need to stop communism, you guys could choose, not me. Both are valid points, but no matter what, we caused the issue to their environment that has affected them since. On the other hand, U.S. soldiers gained compensation. The average veteran gained like $3,000 a month. This was due to a lawsuit in 1979 on behalf of 2.4 million veterans who were exposed in Vietnam. 5 years later, 7 large chemical companies who manufactured Agent Orange agreed to pay $180 million. That's kind of a lot of money in compensation to the veterans or their next of kin. What happened to the 3 million soldiers and the 3 million Vietnamese people who were exposed to Agent Orange? Agent Orange affected everyone differently due to the fact person was exposed to a different amount. Alright? The symptoms included getting infections frequently, acne on your face, numbers of prickly feelings on your hands or feet, fatigue, shortness of breath, swelling on your feet and legs, tremors while your muscles are at rest. Like, I don't know, me personally, I don't know, I hope I don't got that. There were 14 diseases associated with Agent Orange, but recently several more have been discovered. The list is long, and the conditions include severe birth defects, miscarriage, bladder cancer, leukemia, colorectal, acneiform disease. Okay, it's a long list. I don't know if y'all want to know. Comment down in the description, the comments, if you want me to read them all. But I just went on a run, so I'm like kind of tired right now. So just stay with me now. Alright. Living present day in Vietnam, Agent Orange still shows itself. How do families in Vietnam live in the post-war Vietnam? This section of the article sums it up perfectly. In one of the bamboo and thatched silt houses, the latter of the living quarters was made from metal tubes that formerly held American cluster bombs. And that was from the victims of Agent Orange. Ignore my notification. A family in Vietnam had a 4-year-old boy who could barely sit, stand, or walk. His cousin was born mute and didn't learn how to walk until he was 7. And another cousin was a girl who died at the age of 2. The great uncle of those kids said there were no bones in this little girl, just completely soft. Doesn't just give you a weird ass feeling in your stomach just imagining it? This family had to live through this, and it wasn't even their fault. And again, that's from the victims of Agent Orange. You can check out that website in the description. To this day, the Battle of Agent Orange that helped U.S. soldiers kill the Vietnamese is now killing U.S. soldiers that used it in the first place. Isn't that crazy? One of these veterans is my grandpa. I never asked him about Agent Orange. I never even knew what it was until he died. I never even heard that many stories from him either. Only about the females he got in Vietnam. Now that is a crazy story, but I'm not gonna go off now. Agent Orange. Alright, Agent Orange was one of the many mistakes the U.S. government made during the Vietnam War. You can argue that the government tried to sweep it under the rug with compensation, which may have worked since this could be considered one of the lesser known mistakes the government has made. You know what I'm saying? Awareness is still being spread on social media, but there's only so much that we could do. With the 6 million people exposed to Agent Orange during the war who are battling it with the effects and conditions to this day, at least we know never to make that mistake again. That does not mean the army still doesn't do sketchy stuff to our soldiers. Like, let's be real now. But we were getting better, I'd say, you know. Money doesn't make up for the kids who will never be able to live past 20. From a very preventable mistake to the catastrophe this has caused families in America and Vietnam. If you guys want the sources, it's gonna be in the description. If you enjoyed this essay that I wrote, you know, I wrote this, guys. Don't even try to say that I stole this from a website or we gonna have some I don't know what I'm saying. Alright, like and subscribe. I'm gonna go take a shower because I just went on a run and alright, listen. I don't even know. See ya.